ITV, certainly the best.
And a very beautiful afternoon to you, and thank you for joining us on the ITV News for this time. I am Lawrence Osifo. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, have suspended Guinea-Bissau from its decision-making bodies following Wednesday military takeover in the country. The decision was announced late Thursday after an emergency meeting by the ECOWAS Mediation and Security Council. The coup, led by the Army Chief of Staff General Hota Ntam, occurred 3 days after the country's disputed elections, with the military shutting borders, halting vote announcements, and detaining several government figures, including President Umaru Embalo Siseko, who was reportedly leading in the poll. ECOWAS condemned the coup in strong terms, insisting that the will of the people must prevail. Meanwhile, former President of Nigeria, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, has returned to Nigeria after being trapped in the coup-hit Guinea-Bissau, where he had traveled as the head of the West African Elders Forum Observation Mission for the country's presidential and parliamentary elections. The former president and other observers from the African Union and ECOWAS were still carrying out their duties when the military officers seized power in the West African nation, and coup raised a serious concern about their safety. The Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs later confirmed that Dr. Jonathan was safe and had departed Guinea-Bissau back to Nigeria. And the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has dismissed the fundamental rights suit filed by Tigran Gambaryan, a former Binance head of financial crime compliance, against the Office of the National Security Advisor (NSA) and the anti-graft agency, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC). Gambaryan, who is facing money laundering and foreign exchange violation charges alongside Binance Holdings, has approached the court alleging unlawful and prolonged detention. Delivering judgment, Justice Mohammed Umar also held that the suit amounted to an abuse of court processes, ruling that both the NSA and the EFCC acted within their legal mandate. He added that no evidence was presented to show that Gambaryan enjoyed immunity from prosecution under the Nigerian law. Justice Umar ruled that fundamental rights are not absolute and may be restricted under circumstances involving national security or criminal investigations. The case was therefore dismissed. In Niger State, where more than 1 week after the gunmen kidnapped dozens of school children from the St. Mary's Catholic Primary School and Secondary School in Papiri area of Niger State, 265 teachers and children are still unaccounted for. The Catholic Bishop of Kontagora, Bulus Yohanan, stated this on Friday during an interview on a satellite TV program. Bishop Yohanan said that the figures comprise 12 teachers and 253 school children, adding that the diocese has forwarded the names of the hostages to the Niger State Governor Umar Bago. According to him, contrary to what the presidency said, the school never received any prior warning of an impending attack and insists there would be no reason for the school to have received such instructions and not obey it. The cleric appealed to the federal and state governments to come to the school's aid and by securing the students and the teachers still held in captivity by the gunmen. In Lagos State, where the Lagos State Police Command has arrested 26 male suspects for possessing counterfeit currency and producing adulterated diesel in the Etiosa area and Lekki areas of the state. The arrests were made on November 27, 2025 during a joint operation with operatives of the Kick Against Indiscipline Agency. Police recovered over 951,000 naira fake naira notes from the suspect. Preliminary investigations revealed that 4 of the suspects operated an illegal production and distribution networks for adulterated diesels, popularly called rice and beans, while 2 others supplied the product to motorists. The police commissioner, Olowundare Jimo, warned that the command will clamp down on all economic saboteurs and those endangering public safety, urging residents to provide credible information to aid ongoing operations in the state. On the foreign scene, where at least 90 people have died and dozens more are still missing after a devastating flood hit Indonesia this week. Sri Lanka began grappling with severe weather last week, and the conditions worsened on Thursday with heavy downpour that flooded homes, fields and schools and also triggered a landslide across the country. Jolade Ojo has more.
Southeast Asia is facing some of the worst floods the region has seen in years, with millions impacted across Indonesia, Malaysia and Thailand. But it is not just Southeast Asia that is struggling with extreme weather, as in Sri Lanka, at least 90 people have died and over 21 are still missing after heavy rains wreaked havoc on the island this week. According to officials, Sri Lanka has closed government offices and schools as the death toll from floods and landslide across the country has risen to 90, with more than 600 houses damaged. More than 25 people were killed on Thursday in landslides in the central mountainous tea-growing regions of Badula and Nuwara Eliya, which is about 300 kilometers east of the capital, Colombo. Another 21 people were missing and 14 were injured, according to the government's disaster management center. Others died in landslides in different parts of the country. Sri Lanka is bracing for more severe weather on Friday as Cyclone Ditwa moves along its eastern coast. Jola Diojo, ITV News.
On business news, where ticket prices for the Louvre Museum in Paris, France will rise by 45% for most non-European Union visitors. The museum's board decided on Thursday. From early next year, tourists from countries like the US, the UK and China will have to pay €32, $37 and £28 to enter the museum. A price hike which is expected to raise millions of euros annually to fund an overhaul of the famous gallery. The museum's security and management have faced criticism since a brazen haste in October when a 4-person gang stole jewelry worth $102 million and £76 million and fled within minutes. An official audit of the museum published shortly after the haste highlighted the institution's inadequate security systems and aging infrastructures. To entertainment, where Nigeria's reality TV star Mercy AK has said that she wouldn't mind having children outside wedlock. In a recent podcast interview, the Big Brother Naija Season 4, when I explained that if she became pregnant before marriage, she would keep the baby even though it is not something she is looking forward to. AK expressed confidence that pregnancy out of wedlock wouldn't affect her, claiming that stigma against a single mother only applies to poor women whose own don't have things going well for them. She also claimed that men are begging single mothers that are shattering glasses for marriage and not vice versa. Talking sports, where Portugal claimed a remarkable resurgence by defeating Australia 1-0 in the final to win the FIFA Under-17 World Cup at the Khalifa International Stadium in Al Rayyan, Qatar. Benfica forward Aniso Cabral stayed narrowly outside on side to score the only goal of the match in the 32nd minute of the game, converting a cutback from Doto Kunha. The strike took Cabras the seventh goal from the tournament and shot into Australia's forward Johannes Musa, who finished the top scorer. This was the 20th edition of the tournament, which FIFA has now shifted to an annual cycle instead of a banner one. Qatar hosted this edition and will stage the next four as well. Earlier in Doha, goalkeeper Alessandro Longoni also saved two penalties as Italy defeated Brazil 4-2 in a shutout following a draw in the third place playoff of the match. And that's the size of our package on the news for this time. I am Lawrence Osifo, thanking you for watching from everyone here. See, have a beautiful afternoon and a lovely weekend and a brand new month ahead. Bye for now.
Certainly the best.